World Bank's Senior Managing Director Axel Van Trotsenburg leads the institution's global work on development policy, climate and partnerships, and will be participating in that UN Oceans Conference in Nice. In fact, we can go there live now to speak with him. Thanks so much for your time. Can I start by asking you, a general idea, how much would it cost to protect our oceans properly?
As you mentioned, the oceans are overexploited. We see marine pollution of gigantic scales, and we need to do something. So there are estimates that we would need to invest every year around $170 billion to deal with this problem. Yet only 120 billion out of the 170 is financed. So there is a huge gap of $150 billion. This is incidentally one of the Sustainable Development Goals that is severely underfunded. Many are, but this is one of the most underfunded objectives of the Sustainable Development Goals, and we need to do more.
Okay, so a big call on people gathered there in Nice to put up the money, which is often the sticking point in these conferences. But, you know, tell us a bit more about the World Bank has started to prioritise working on the oceans. Give me a concrete idea of the projects that the World Bank is interested in and why.
Well, we are working worldwide. First, the dimensions. We have been scaling up our activities for the oceans, and we increased our exposure to these projects from about $5-6 billion 5 years ago, and we are now, as a World Bank group, at close to the $13 billion level. So it's very clear that we need to do all more, and certainly the bank does it with the private sector as with the public sector. We are financing mangroves in Africa as well as Indonesia. We help fisheries that are threatened in their livelihoods. We are supporting particularly plastic waste management, because plastic waste is a massive problem. Just to give you an idea, every year about 15 million metric tons are getting into the oceans, and we need to see how we can reduce it, ideally eliminate this. So these are the type of activities we are doing. We cannot do that alone, so we're working with other multilateral development banks and governments to see how we can do better. And this is, I think, the importance of this conference, that there are solutions out there and we can do it. So we, as an international community, should have better partnerships, not only the public, but also the private, to actually make a difference. And I hope that this will come out of this conference.
OK, there are solutions, you're saying, but those solutions, as you've rightly pointed out, cost a lot of money. So who's going to pay? Who's willing to pay? Where will that money come from?
Well, I think that is a combination. That is, there are governments. I think the private sector is need to be challenged. There is only a few percentage points of this financing is done by the private sector. We need to engage them much more, because, as you know, there are fiscal stress around the world, so not the resources are easily. And also the development bank should do more. And that is exactly what the World Bank has been doing. I think that is what we like to show, that to do that effectively, we need to do more, but also we need to do that in partnership so that we can get the synergy effects that are needed.
OK, everybody, as you say, needs to do more for this. But, you know, you're telling us what the World Bank does in the right direction, but it does still finance billions in terms of fossil fuels. Is it not time to walk away from that, to make a sharp stance?
Well, that is one of the illusions that are going around. That is not correct. We have never been anymore being engaged on coal financing. Sometimes people are coming with this. Our main financing is on renewable energies, and those portfolios have increased significantly. And so I think one needs to show actually what the record of the World Bank is in this area, and we are working hard on this. And this is, incidentally, not the topic of the oceans, but clearly these are the things we are dealing to have a sustainable portfolio, and I think we are in pretty good shape.
Cost of not addressing the problem with the oceans?
The cost of is that it will worsen. But let's keep that in mind. You mentioned also that in the introduction. There are 3 billion people dependent on healthy oceans. So this is the livelihoods that's at stake, jobs that's at stake. So therefore, we need to act on this. And I think as much as it is difficult, it is doable. We have shown that also with overfishing, we can well manage, control this, and have sustainable fishing management. We have shown that in parts of the world, and so we need to extend it. This requires international cooperation with governments, but it is doable.
Axel Van Trotsenburg, Senior Managing Director at the World Bank. Let's hope you can push delegates there in the right direction. Thanks for your time here on France 24.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.